I feel like this series is eliciting a lot of David Bowie talk, because yesterday we asked you who was under more pressure, and you said you thought it was Boston as opposed to Miami. So I'm gonna go full Freddie Mercury on you again. Who's under pressure Saturday night?
It's still Boston, Elle, because if they lose, they're going home. So by definition, Miami's not going home. They at least get to go to Boston, and while that would be desperate and against all odds and all those sorts of things, those cliches, that's fact. The Boston Celtics still have to win in Miami tomorrow night to even continue the series. So the pressure's on them. And yeah, Miami's feeling more. There's less margin for error, and they're going to have to pick their game up and get it back to where it was the first 3 games of the series, not to where it's been the last 2.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is that the Heat hadn't lost back-to-back games since March, right? So the Celtics were able to do. How much faith do you have that the Celtics could actually be the first team to come back from a 3-0 hole?
Well, I mean, look, it's certainly possible. If I was going to bet it, I'd probably stay on the safe side and still go with Miami at home tomorrow night narrowly. And I am not a bettor. I just don't. And it's games and series like this. I'm old enough to be able to look at situations where people thought something had to happen and it didn't. But let me just say this. I talked to a former NBA coach today who reminded me. He said, look, if the energy is the same, if Boston brings the same energy and intensity to the fight as Miami, the Celtics are the better team. We know that. But they didn't the first 3 games, and Miami got the better of them in that department. And it's up to the Heat now to figure out on this day off and into tomorrow how they get that level of fight back, where they have even more energy, more intensity than the Celtics, because that's what it's going to take. And some 3-point shooting won't hurt that as well, because we see how big the disparity is, Elle, in 3-point shooting in this series and who wins and who loses.
100%. They've been living and dying by it, really, both teams. Regardless of who comes out of the East, Mike, they're going to be facing a Nuggets team that will have had like 9 days of rest in between games. What do you make of what the Nuggets have been able to accomplish this season, despite what Mike Malone seems to think is that no one's paying attention to them?
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe a lot of people didn't pay attention early on. I lived some of my life, as you can sort of see behind me, in the Mountain Time Zone. And Arizona is only in the Mountain Time Zone effectively for like 4 months. So nobody knows what goes on in the Mountain Time Zone. Denver's there all the time. There are fewer people who live in that time zone than any of the 4 in America. And so people just sort of talk about flying over, not paying attention, but they got to pay attention now. And so, you know, the Nuggets want to have it both ways. Michael Malone and some of his players will say, you know, well, nobody's paying attention to us. And then when you ask them about it, they say, oh, our guys, they don't put any stock in that. Yeah, they do. And yeah, Michael Malone does, and they should. It's the chip they put on their shoulder and say it's us against the world. And basically every team from junior high on tries to find a reason to rally around that sort of theme, and that's the one that Denver has been hanging on to. They're a great team now. They got 2 great superstars. They have a wonderful roster of role players and people who know those roles and know to stay in those lanes, if you will. But they got the best player on the planet right now in Nikola Jokic. I voted for Embiid. I voted for Embiid as MVP. But that's a regular season award. The best player in the NBA now is Jokic. And Jamal Murray, he's as good as anybody at the position. So they got that and a whole lot of other stuff, including a great coach, going for them.
That's true. So then who do you think poses a bigger threat to them coming out of the East, the Celtics or the Heat?
Well, I mean, Elle, if the Celtics come through this and they have just won 4 straight games to have a historic ride into the finals through the Eastern Conference Championship in a way that nobody's ever done it, 4 straight wins after being down 0-3, I'm going to tell you that the Celtics are going to pose the bigger threat. It seems, and we don't know about Malcolm Brogdon in this arm situation, that the Celtics are healthier. They've got more people at their disposal and ready to go into that fight than Miami, of course. So I would say Boston, but Boston still got to get there. The Celtics still have to get past Miami in Miami and in a Game 7. So, I mean, right now it looks like you would still say, okay, they're going to be looking at Miami as their eventual opponent in these NBA Finals. But If the Celtics win 4 straight to do something nobody's ever done, the answer is going to be the Celtics for a lot of things. It'd be interesting to see who the betting favorite would be, what Vegas would say about a team that had come through historic means to get to the finals, and a Denver team that has kind of really just sort of bullied its way to the finals to this point.
Yeah, and for the Celtics, a team who in large part was the exact same team that was in the finals just a year ago. Michael Wilbon, as always, we appreciate you joining us from the desert.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.